Hi guys, welcome back. Today this one is specifically for all my yoga teachers, my fitness professionals, my trainers, everyone out there who, because of the situation that we're in, is switching to a much more digital platform. The first thing that this pandemic has probably taught us is that we need to focus on income diversity. Getting all of your income from teaching classes or having private clients is awesome when you can actually do those things and be in those spaces, but again, if Safer at Home has taught us anything, it's that in an instant, those things can be taken away from us. So how can we diversify our offerings and make sure that we're covered no matter what happens? Income diversity. What that looks like is there's two main areas that we are going to maximize today. One is those live streaming classes, like IG Live, Zoom, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, anything that people can log into and see in real time. And then the second thing that we'll focus on are those pre-recorded classes. So the classes that you might see on a subscription service like Alo Moves, Flow, Yoga International. This is a great time to think about, is there like a 20-minute, 30-minute, 45-minute, hour-long class that I can film and get like $20 for a rental, $40 to buy it outright. So these are different things that we can do to diversify our income stream. So we'll start with what it looks like for those live stream classes. What you're gonna need today are 5 different things. A ring light, an external mic, an iPhone, some sort of video editing software, Adobe Premiere, iMovie, some sort of recording GarageBand, Audacity, the voice memo option. So the first thing that we're going to go over is how to maximize your personhood in online classes. What does that mean? How do I make my online live stream classes way more engaging and feel much more authentic to who I am as a person? So I have gone to acting conservatory and film school, and because of that have learned how to edit, write, direct, be on camera. There's a lot of technique that's involved. What I'm gonna do is just basically give you the cheat codes to all of those things. There's 4 main categories that we want to think about when we're doing live streaming classes. Presence, engaging with the camera, leave your mat, say how you feel. The first one is presence. This is related to who you are authentically. Don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. People are coming to your classes for you. People will come to your class because they like you as a teacher, because they connect with you, because they like the way that you sing along to the music, because they love the way that you're really sassy when you call people out, because you create really interesting sequencing, because of the music that you pick. When we teach online, people are still coming to our live classes because of us. So we have to find a way to leverage our authenticity, our uniqueness, our personhood. And that all starts with presence. Can I be just as animated and maybe even a little bit more because I'm kind of performing, right? I'm on camera, I'm speaking to camera. There's a light in my face and a mic picking up my sound. So can I be a little bit more performative, take my energy up to like an 80-90% so that people feel engaged with me as a teacher? That leads directly into our second point, which is engaging with the camera. You could teach class for sure, just facing one way and doing all the movements that you gotta do and never looking once at camera, but that would be a horribly boring class for the consumer. When people come to you to take classes, what they're looking for is that connection, person to person. Because we live in a digital age, we are super lucky that we have these devices that kind of give us that connection without physically being in the same space with one another. So by turning to camera every once in a while and saying, high lunge, reach your arms up to the sky. I'm gonna look directly at camera when I say that. Or maybe something like down dog split, peer underneath your arm to look at camera. It gives us that personal touch that you're trying to connect with me. That can also feel really weird for those of us who have not done on-camera training because you might be looking at your own face, especially if you're teaching like the IG Live situation, you're kind of teaching into the ether. You have to pretend that there's a room full of people there who are hanging on every word that you say, waiting to get out of this incredibly challenging posture that you're giving them. They feel their muscles on fire and they're looking to you to guide them through. So that engagement, that looking, directly addressing the camera is oftentimes what keeps people in it and will draw people back to you over and over again. This kind of segues right into the third thing that is super important for not only engaging with your audience, but making sure that you as a fitness professional stay healthy in your voice and your body. Leave your mat. Wherever you are, do not do the whole class with the people. Okay, they're looking at me and they're listening to my voice and they're trying to figure out what to do based on how I look and what I'm saying. So how could I ever leave my mat? If you are teaching 5 classes a day, that is a lot of working out. And for me personally, way more chaturangas than I would ever want to do. So how do I save my shoulders, prevent myself from an overuse injury, and save my vocal cords? I'm gonna get up off of my mat, look directly in the camera, see who is engaging with me, who is online, who is taking the class, and shout people out. Adina, that is so awesome. Get that booty down, girl. Well, I love that. Awesome. Core in, lift your arms a little bit higher. Yes, Monica, squat lower. I know you got it. So in that same way that we would provide one-on-one cues for students in the classroom, even if you can't see them on an IG Live or a Facebook Live sort of situation, use people's names, give them specific cues, make them feel like they matter to you, because they do. They are the people that are fueling your income. The other reasons from a standpoint of vocal health, why it is important to leave your mat when you're doing really intense exercises, like in my yoga practice, when I'm working out with kettlebells, I'm not talking to anyone. So the idea of talking continuously while you're doing the movement itself will put a lot of strain on your throat, because the muscles of your throat will also engage and constrict. This will create a lot of extra friction in your vocal cords, which if you do it enough and for long enough and for loud enough will create nodes. I know, because I went to vocal therapy for about 2.5 years to train my voice how to project well without that extra friction that was happening, because I was trying to do so much and speak loudly and clearly at the same time. When you're on camera leading these IG Lives, you've probably already learned that you need to speak super loud, especially if you're trying to play music from another device. You're basically screaming for an hour or however long your class is. So save your chords, get up close and personal with that camera, give people a call out, give them some cues, give them some motivation. And this kind of goes right into our fourth topic, which is say exactly how you feel. One of the things that is so powerful about group fitness is that the person next to you, you can feel their energy. They're in a deep squat with like 20-pound weights on each shoulder. You're like, girl, I feel you. I feel that burn for you. And it's pushing through that discomfort together that makes group exercise so powerful. When we're all in our own individual apartments or houses or living rooms, we don't have somebody sweating next to us most of the time. And so it makes it feel more isolating, less motivating. And so what we're looking to do is by saying, wow, this feels so intense in my quads right now. I know you're feeling it. I'm feeling it. It must be insane to have sequenced this out for you. It gives them a point of connection, similarity, and camaraderie. I'm going through this with you. I am here. I am feeling it, and we're going to get through this together. The last thing that I'll say about public speaking in general is that a lot of public speaking courses will say, okay, let's count how many likes, how many ums, how many filler words you have, which is just not the way that I like to learn. It's not strength-based, it's not motivational, and honestly, it just feels kind of demeaning to me. The biggest piece of advice I have for anyone who's doing any sort of public speaking, the filler words will automatically disappear when you know what you're going to say and you have a deep-seated need to communicate that message clearly. You might speak a little bit slower than you're used to. You might pause at moments when you normally wouldn't if you're just having a conversation with a friend. But you have to elevate the stakes of the situation. I need to communicate this to you. And when that need's there, all of the filler words disappear and your audience is so much more captivated because they want to hear what you have to say because it's so important to you. So 5 things. We've got presence, we've got engaging with the camera, leave your mat, say how you feel, and with any sort of public speaking, have a very clear message and a deep-seated need to communicate it clearly. So now we'll move on to the wonderful world of pre-recorded content. So what we're going to do today is basically break down your workflow for pre-recorded content. There's a super important question that you have to ask yourself. Who is my target audience? How hard is this going to be? How long is this going to be? What is the exact sequence of movements that I'm going to do? From that, it'll be helpful for you to determine, am I going to do voiceover, or am I going to try to have a mic so that I can teach and video at the same time? Pros and cons to both. Usually when you're teaching in the moment, it's way more organic, it feels more authentic, more connected. It feels like a live class, which is essentially what we want our pre-recorded content to feel like. The downsides of this, though, are that the mics that you would use, like a lapel mic that you pin on the edge of your shirt or a headset mic, they're expensive, 1. 2, if you move your head a certain way, particularly with a lapel mic, it'll muffle the sound quality so it won't sound as great. 3, you have to be a pretty good editor to sync up the video that you're getting with the audio, which will be separate, right? Because you're not going to film on your iPhone and be able to pick up the mic volume or the mic content. It'll come as a different file, essentially. I would instead opt for a voiceover recording, which is a little bit of a lengthy process, takes a lot of imagination and some time, but I think will give you better content overall. So if we're doing voiceover, we've gone through our questions. Who's my target audience? How long is the workout? What is the exact sequence that I'm gonna do? So I'll take my external mic, which connects right into my laptop, open up GarageBand, start a new project, and from top to bottom, go through my entire class. A cue for me might sound like, inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Oh my God, that was amazing. Yes, go for it. So I'm very energetic, very excited, very engaged, probably doing the most. Really important to keep your energy very high the entire time. Even though the mic is close to you, it's gonna feel like you wanna whisper. Take the mic a little bit farther away and really project. You wanna think about like, I'm teaching to fill an entire room, because the mic is gonna pick up on that and it's gonna change the energy and the quality of the class that you produce. After you do the voiceover, you save it, you export it. We're gonna take that same file, that voiceover file, and play it on your laptop, on your iPhone, whatever, while you actually do the movements. I use this awesome app called Filmic Pro. I'm actually using it right now to film, and it gives you beautiful quality. It also has like a lovely grid. There's a lot of cool things that you can do. You can change the temperature. If you're a film person, a camera person, you're gonna have a field day with this thing. You set it up using your ring light. You set your frame. You've got to push that camera way far back so that you can get everything in the frame. The ring light will help light everything evenly. You push play on the audio, you do the thing, you go through the whole class top to bottom, you push stop on the video recording, and then you take the video and the sound, dump it all into your editing software. So again, I use Adobe Premiere. It is super user-friendly. It's the editing software that I learned how to edit on, so I'm really comfortable with it. But honestly, it took me about like 3 hours to really learn, and then I was off and I was running. And if you watch anything on my Instagram, every piece of content there is something that I have edited myself. So if I can do it, I believe that you can do it too. The great thing about the video recording is that you're not gonna use the sound from the video, you're gonna use the sound from the voiceover that you created. So it doesn't matter if you have music on in the background to motivate yourself. It doesn't matter if your dog barks, if your roommate comes in. None of those things matter because you're not using any of that sound, only the voiceover sound. So we're putting together all the pieces together in Premiere Pro, and you want to add background music. YouTube is an amazing resource for royalty-free music. Just type it in the search bar and you will find a plethora of music for you to choose from. The last thing that we want to do is you want to host the video on a website that is password protected. So I really like Vimeo for that, but there's many other ways that you can do it on Squarespace. You can offer them a rental or a buy. And so this is one of the best ways to diversify your income. Can I create programs, classes of varying lengths that people pay for to either rent or buy? So I hope you guys found that super helpful. I'm gonna leave all of the products that I use down below, links to apps and all of that. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. So happy to help in any way that I can. This is a time for us to really figure out, as fitness professionals, how can I diversify my income so that should anything ever happen again, maybe I get injured, maybe I get sick, maybe I have to move across the country, how I can keep my income stream pretty steady as opposed to relying only on private clients and in-studio classes to make my living. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll be coming at you later with some more flows, some skills, some inversions, some arm balances, and I hope you enjoy.